be releasing the floodwater shortly.
Right, thank you. Chief Zhao.
Yes.
Hurry over to the flood discharge area. Make sure everyone's evacuated at once.
Yes, sir.
Secretary, please keep it down. We advise him to get some rest, but he can't do that with all this noise.
Sure. Listen, evacuation for all staff is crucial.
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute. Are you going to the front lines now?
Yes, right now.
She's reporting for the provincial paper. You'll be in charge of her. Make sure to stay together and ensure her safety.
Don't worry about it.
Deputy Bureau Chief Zhao of the Public Security Bureau will get you first-hand information. He'll take care of you. Just make sure to go where he goes.
I don't want to get any special treatment.
If this was special treatment, you'd be on your way home. Take care of yourself.
Let's go.
Hurry! Help him! Quickly, over there! Move! Hurry up! Please, hurry!
Hold on to me! Are you alright?
Over there! This way, quickly!
Is anyone there?
Is anyone there?
Is everybody out? Come with us! Is anyone there?
Is anyone still there?
Is everybody out? Please come out!
Is anyone still there?
Out there!
Oh! Miss Ken, are you okay? We can take a minute.
No, I'm okay.
Is anyone still in here?
Is anyone still out there?
Is anyone still out there?
Bureau Chief,
What is it?
the nursing home at the East Dyke. They haven't left yet.
Why not? Let's get them out of there. Let's go!
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go. Secretary Tian, are you all right?
I'm just fine.
Secretary Tian,
Yes?
your nice fountain pen. I hope it didn't break.
It's fine. This fountain pen was a gift my daughter bought me from her first paycheck. It's not broken.
Chief Chow, have they evacuated a nursing home?
I tried. I did all I could. But they're too stubborn to leave. Especially the elderly. They were just talking about deities and spirituality and their ancestors that will save them. And they even cited protection by the Dragon King.
It doesn't matter if there's a Dragon King temple right there. There are still times the Dragon Lord would be napping.
I know!
Practically the entire sky is falling. What do we do about them? You're Chief Chow. This is an emergency. The people's militia. Can they adopt coercive measures to force them to evacuate?
Take coercive measures? We can't resort to that.
The elderly are rooted to that place. If you don't try and adapt to a harsher method, it's likely they'll never leave their homes at all. Are you telling me that you're going to let them stay there and die?
That might be the only way. We'll do as you say then.
Oh, Chief Chow.
Huh?
This is the press release I wrote along the way. Please pass it on to the command post. It's for the provincial capital's news office.
Don't worry about it. Consider it done.
Thank you. I'll go and see if there's still people around.
Please, be very careful.
Don't worry about me.
It broke. Has everyone in the city been evacuated? Good. Secretary Xiao, the evacuation of people has been completed. Our next task is post-disaster settlement. Please instruct us, Secretary.
You're the commander. You deploy the staff.
Right. In that case, let's have Secretary Wu assign people from the provincial capital. Also, the focus of our
Secretary
post-disaster...
Tian. This is the press release from Miss Tian. She asked me to bring it back for her.
Oh. Xiao Bai, please send this out immediately.
Yes, sir.
Wait, where is she? What's wrong? She's being stubborn, huh?
Well, have her come back. Let the girl rest and have something to eat. She's been here for 2 days, and I haven't seen her rest at all. She's been working so hard.
Secretary Kiao, Secretary Tian. I'm so sorry. I failed to take care of her. I'm afraid Miss Tian is gone.
What do you mean?
She dove into the water to rescue a child. The child made it out, but she was swept away by the current.
Where is she?
We couldn't find her. The current was just too strong. When we went down to look for her, she'd already been swept away by the flood. We only managed to get her camera back. It snagged on a tree branch.
Where did this happen?
The East Dike area.
I'll go look for her.
Fuja, who is this girl to you?
She's my daughter.
Daughter?
In extreme disbelief, Tian Fuja, taken by surprise, could do nothing to suppress his overwhelming sorrow. Xiao Sha, my dear daughter, I'm so sorry.
This rain. You were looking for me?
That's right. The telegram arrived for you. From the Baogang City Party Committee Secretary.
Tongcheng Dayawan Coal Mine District 5 sent Xiaoping. Please come at once, Tian Fujian. Huh?
Xiaoping. Baogang had a major flood. This Tian Fuzhou was placed in charge of disaster management operations. Do you know him?
I do. He's Miss Tian's father. What would Uncle Fujian need from me? Well, I better get going.
Go, hurry.
By Staff Correspondent Tian Shaosha, the most catastrophic flood that hit Baogang City. You can't be gone, Shaosha. You have to be alive. This has to be nothing more than just a tasteless prank. No, you can't be dead. I'm sure you made it back to dry land after the flood. You must have asked your father to send me the telegram. Maybe you're suffering minor injuries, and in this moment you're in a hospital bed, waiting for me to arrive. We said we'd leave Baogang together and go back to Yuan. I know, the day after tomorrow. I'll find you under the tree at the back of ancient Pagoda Hill. I'm here to see Mr. Chen Fuzhou.
Are you Sen Xiaoping? He's expecting you. Come in.
Xiaoping, I didn't actually realize that you were Xiaoxiao's boyfriend. I only found out about you from her diary, so I reached out to you.
How could this have happened? How could this have happened? How could this have happened? And she was such a good swimmer too.
Xiaoxia. She was swept away by the flood while rescuing a little girl.
Uncle Fuzhou, could I see Xiaoxia?
All that was left behind was her camera on a tree branch.
Could that mean she's still alive?
No one could have survived that. I didn't want to believe it either, but she's no longer in our world. Xiaoping, it was a terrible flood. She could not have survived.
And that little girl?
She's fine. It's almost like Xiaoxia used up her energy to save that little girl.
At least she's safe. At least she's safe.
Xiaoxia. My sweet daughter. Although none of us were ready to believe that a life as full of vitality as hers would simply be taken, it was not in vain after all. as she sacrificed hers for a child's. I'm so proud of her. I'm so grateful. Xiaoping, I'm very grateful to you. While Xiao Xiao was still alive, you gave her fulfillment in love. I found out about this in her diary. This loss is painful, and the sorrow real and unbearable. But for this, I'm truly grateful to you. There are a dozen or so diaries here, all written by Xiao Xia. These 3 in my hand are where she wrote about your love. I'd like for you to keep them, as these are shared memories of your youth. Reading them will be like hearing Xiao Xia's voice again.
The dog days of summer. I swim at the Institute of Metallurgy next door. And I'm so dark I might as well be charcoal. This makes me think about my coal mining man. This yearning is as intoxicating as the sweetest wine. I know this love has just begun to blossom, but it's already carried me far away, and I don't want it to stop. I'm embracing all that this could be, and I believe that this love will be strong enough to keep both of us afloat.
I am incredibly proud of my coal mining man. I know true love isn't about getting everything you want, but giving the other what he wants. It is a continuous effort you both make to work together and continue lifting each other up. That is about becoming one. You experience every pain and every thrive as one. Sometimes you make sacrifices, and it's how much you're willing to give up for the other that you can then measure the depth of the love you have for each other. Without that, check the sincerity of your emotions, because sacrifice is love.
Uncle Fuja.
Xiaoping, I think of you as my own child. You don't have to leave tonight. Stay here. There's so much we can talk about.
I understand what you mean completely, but I can't today. I must head out today and make it back to Wang Yuan. Xiao Xia and I, we promised we'd meet each other at ancient Pagoda Hill. She might not make it there, but I thought I at least owe it to her to keep my promise.
In the beginning, we were birds that soared free. Fly away. Fly to the glorious mountains beyond the dark clouds. Fly on to that place, to that turquoise cape. Only the wind is dancing with joy, accompanied by me. Xiaoping, you must remember this poem.
I do remember!
Farming. That shouldn't be the career you're aiming for. Do you want to stay here for the rest of your life? Don't you want to travel and see the world? Xiaoping, you mustn't forget. You're extraordinary. The whole world is yours for the taking.
Xiaoping fell into a deep sleep, for sleep seemed to be the only thing that could somewhat ease his sorrow. As he slept, Xiaoping got another chance to see his beloved again. That smile he knew so well, radiant as the sun, seemed to tell him, "Beloved, I'm not going anywhere." And in that instant, Xiaoping would be free from his grief, only knowing that their two hearts were again brought together as one. These dreams, though filled with passion and love, were beautiful but fleeting illusions.
It's an hour before the time we agreed to meet. Come on, Xiaosha. You insisted on time. You shouldn't get there too late. Don't be late. Don't be late. I held onto his hand tightly, and together we climbed over beams and pillars. This was the place the man I loved had been laboring all year round. It was then I realized for the first time that the hand I held so tightly, it had grown strong, while still somehow so tender. I didn't know when I began to cry. Both tears and sweat drenched my face. No one could tell I was crying because it was so dark. But I was crying for him. It took me too long, but I began to understand all the hardship he went through. All of this for Cole? In the dark, my eyes were opened. My hands were in his. And it was in that moment I knew I didn't want to let go.
I dined at the Black Swan with Gao Lang. It was red everywhere, from the decorations, the red carpet, even the wine was red. There was red carp being served. And even Gao Lang was blushing red from excitement. All I could see, however, were swatches of black everywhere I looked. Yes, the color black. And in this blackness, black beads of sweat dripped from their faces as they dug out their batches of coal, shovel by shovel, more piles of black, and streaks on his face, on his hands, and on his back. Black streaks and stains on his skin outlined the contours of his face. I liked the face of this man and the interesting conversations we have when we share the stories of our lives and our passions.
Sometimes, I think about our first date, leading up to it. I couldn't help but be extremely nervous. It was almost as if all the moments of my life compounded to make this one happen. This one moment was what all the others led me to. And then, on the day we had both agreed to meet, he stood in front of the Grand Theater. He was clutching a bouquet in his hand. I remember him walking towards the middle of the columns. Perfect. It was the perfect image.
He stood there frozen in the moment until he reached out to hand a bouquet to a thin gray-eyed girl in sneakers, and that's when he drove off in a way. And in that very instant, I wished to myself that I could make time stand still so I could have time to think and reflect on the years I had lost and maybe relive the memory of the moment years ago as a young girl in a pair of sneakers.
I was too young to know what I had. All those wasted years. All of that wasted time. We could have had a different life if we only knew of our love.
My love, you're here at last.
Hello, man. Now, no need to be afraid.
Are you an alien? I've read a few books that talked about aliens, and they say you communicate primarily through our minds, through something like telepathy. Is that right?
Yes. Although, really do not enter other person's minds. Every day, we don't end up knowing too much. As for you, it was so strong. You're yearning for the building you felt so purely. You wanted to sympathize. And actually, we used our names to let you see her.
Can you tell me the truth? Is she still alive?
Within the confines of your world, she may no longer be alive. But elsewhere, to the rest of the universe, and on Earth to some degree, some life forms have acclimated to a different plane of existence, where what you call a spirit no longer needs to adhere to a physical body. This life continues to exist, but truly in a spiritual realm. Certainly, is the new world's evolutionary standard, contact with our rebellion impossible.
I don't think I understand. Are you telling me that she might no longer exist in our world, but to the rest of the universe, she's still alive?
You could put it that way.
I would like to ask if...
Goodbye.
Xiaosha, you're gone. Our world no longer has you. But in another world, I know you're still alive. And that's good enough.
Oh, Xiaoping, you're back.
Our lives have wonderful moments, but a single lifetime can also be extremely short. While we're alive, we should live as well as we know how. When we lose a loved one suddenly, that should remind us to treasure every moment we have ourselves. Depression is a natural reaction, but you must keep trying. Live as normally as you can, and even if the pain is unbearable, we should allow the emotion to wash over us from time to time, as they do in waves. The pain will one day open up and lead you to a better place, one in which acceptance and happiness will welcome you.
When you strive for perfection, the flower blooms of your youth, and when it finally wilts, it wilts majestically.
Xiaosha. Goodbye.
Fuja, you were placed in charge as Baokang City Party Committee Secretary, and you expertly handled the flood crisis operations. Central government leaders have commended you, and on the leaders' behalf, I extend our sympathies.
I can't take all the credit. I couldn't have done it without the cadres and the people of Baokang City.
I wanted to meet with you too, to talk to you about what this all could mean for you. In the last 6 months, Baokang City has been developing, and the Provincial Party Committee, they've considered reassigning you as Municipal Party Committee Secretary in the provincial capital.
I have heard that they're seeking a candidate for Huangyuan Prefectural Secretary. I have a suitable candidate in mind.
Who?
Me. A lateral transfer as Prefectural Secretary of the Huangyuan Prefecture. I would like to make this request.
You still want to return to Huangyuan?
I know the place through and through. I've worked there for a long time and care for it deeply. When the Provincial Party Committee transferred me to Baokang, I didn't even move my home. I hope you consider my request.
You do understand that a Baokang City Party Committee Secretary going to Huangyuan to be Prefectural Secretary is not a lateral transfer, and it's actually more like an outright demotion.
Yes, I know. But my request stands. I would still like to be assigned to Huangyuan.
Fuzha, the state is in need of cadres, especially of men of outstanding quality. I know you're qualified. Fuzha, think about it. Please reconsider this request of yours.
Secretary, that's my personal preference, but I will follow their wishes.